And the next day, the whole Coffs Harbour Regional Office shut its doors for a month, or 3 weeks, and they're still not open. I wasn't even aware that that was going to happen. I phoned them 3 or 4 times on the 29th of December, straight after Christmas, thinking, well, there's probably going to be someone in the office, and there wasn't. And I still haven't had a reply to my phone calls, all my concerns about the road safety and the wet weather logging that they're planning to do here. So it really concerns me that they want to come in so quickly without any consultation whatsoever, and they're not willing to listen to the residents on the road about what our concerns are with log trucks using the road in wet weather every day. There's school children on the road. My parents are elderly and haven't been well. My father hasn't been well. He may need hospital medical care. When I spoke to the forester on the ground, which is the only person I can actually get in contact with over this period, he said there's nothing he can do about it and that it won't be delayed. And that nobody will be in the office until at least the 5th, which is tomorrow, to talk to. Yeah, the whole office is closed till the 12th, according to the sign on the door, which is no help to us. We're 120 kilometres away from the office. How could, nobody told us they weren't going to be there. They've just told us they're coming in to do this operation, and they don't seem to have any concern or consideration for the residents living here. Which surprises me, because I did write a letter earlier in the year expressing my concerns about the operation, and I would have thought that somebody might address those issues with me on this operation and talk to me about the harvest plan, but that's not the case. They've just decided to block any consultation and go ahead and log the trees despite all my concerns, or perhaps because of them. I really don't know. It makes me very suspicious.
I think the point we're trying to make about the ever-decreasing size of the trees that are being harvested. Here's one that was taken several decades ago, and this is one of the biggest ones we've been able to find today. Whether that'll be logged, I presume it is, because it's not marked. But then again, that's New England blackbutt, and they tell us that the market has dropped out for that, so maybe they won't want it at all.
Well, I've spent a couple of days and nights out in the compartment. They're about to log on Monday. In a week's time, they're about to log it, and the marks on the trees suggest to me that really nothing is sacred in the area that they're allowed to harvest.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about the wildlife? About the idea that because you have been here for 30 years, you're more familiar probably than most people anywhere else with this particular area in terms of what you hear and what you see regularly, and the disparity between that and the harvest plan and the markings on the harvest plan, which are supposedly put there to identify where wildlife is.
There's a lot of nil records, aren't there?
There's a big difference between what lives here in the forest and what State Forest says is here.
Well, that's what jumps out of the plan when you read it. Is they say of specific frogs nil record, of yellow-bellied gliders in certain areas no record, koalas. Which we know and have been here for 30 years, they've been in trees by the house. They've been grunting here. We've heard them last week grunting there and over there the week before, and they range around. Same with the yellow-bellied gliders. They use this whole area. This is their home. They're my neighbours. They're my friends. The plan to harvest really doesn't consider them of value. The only thing that is considered of value is the timber, and it appears to me that the wildlife surveys that Forests New South Wales have done are, very poor.
A bit tokenistic, I thought.
Very tokenistic.
I looked, it didn't, I don't know if that's a word, but it doesn't seem to cover what actually...
A lot seems to depend on that, the wildlife atlas and stating the fact that certain species have been recorded within the area, not in this forest, but just generally around. And there's people like yourselves reporting something here, so it happens to get onto the wildlife atlas. Therefore, they have to consider it. But then, when you look at their thing, they've got nil records as far as the forest is concerned. And the nil records, as you say, indicates to me, especially with these microbats, which we know that they're everywhere. They've just got nil records, or just one. I think golden tip bat is the only thing. They keep on bringing that one up because somebody's found it somewhere.
Somewhere once, yeah. It's sort of like they're relying on past records. Yeah. They add them to the new plan, and any new sightings are very tokenistic, and they're right on the edges of roads. In fact,
they don't get too far off the road.
They don't go too far off the road, and in fact, Forests New South Wales pushed fresh roads back in March for these people to be able to drive in, so that they didn't have to walk so far. Which, for me, that just exposes the lack of ambition to actually find anything.
Yeah.
It takes somebody like me who lives within this forest in a remote area to speak up about it, because most of the population is totally unaware of what happens out here. Not only are they unaware of the immensely beautiful wildlife, which for me is an everyday occurrence. Every day I see something beautiful and precious. Every morning I wake up and the sound of the birds on the dawn chorus. There's lyrebirds, there's bellbirds, there's owls at night. This forest is just brimming with diverse wildlife. It's, it's beautiful that it's still here, and it's really worth protecting. And I really am disgusted by the way Forests New South Wales has just more or less bulldozed our concerns with their strategy for coming to harvest these particular trees this year. It's like the wildlife surveys, they're very tokenistic. All the letters I've received in reply to my written concerns have been very tokenistic. When you look at the website and read what they say they are doing, it is not a reflection of what they are doing. It's really unbelievable, because most of the public's swallowing that propaganda that's published on their website, that they're following best practice, that they're looking after the environment, that they're consulting with all the necessary authorities about threatened species and all these other things. But only 2 nights ago we went into the compartment and we photographed 2 endangered frogs that they hadn't even listed on the plan. And how easy was that?
It's a shame they don't value local residents as observers of wildlife and pay attention to that there isn't some avenue.
It would be too dangerous, wouldn't it?
Where they could, where you could input information on a regular basis to forestry to let them know what you see, what lives here, and how diverse and fragile it actually is.
I arrived here when I was still a child, Sophie's age, and always I've carried in my heart, hey, I'm a guardian of this place. Anybody strange comes in, or if I think there's something going on that shouldn't be going on, I really get my back up, and
you're not the only one. I mean, Michelle's also really concerned about the wildlife. I mean, it matters to people out here.
It really matters.
That animals are losing their habitat and dying in pain. Michelle's always fun.